everyone, welcome. My name is Lauren. I am a homeschooling mom of 3, and today I'm going to share my final thoughts and review of my kindergartners curriculum for the year. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited you're here. Hopefully you'll stick around. If you've seen any of my videos before, if you've been here before, if you're a subscriber, you probably are familiar with some of the curriculum I'm going to share today, but I just want to give my final thoughts on how it went for us this year. So I'm going to share language arts. She's in kindergarten, so there's not like an exorbitant amount that I'm going to share today, but I did want to talk a little bit about the teacher guide that I used. So we used for her language arts Abeka, the kindergarten K-5 program. Now, I have used this program before with my middle daughter. When she was in kindergarten, I used this exact workbook, and I did a little bit different. I didn't have the lesson plans, the teacher guide. I just I have a whole video on how I did that I can link down below. And so, but for this year, I wanted to say, you know what, let me venture out, let me see. I'm actually quite familiar with the teacher guides that Abeka has for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, because I've used those with my older girls. So I said, let me try the kindergarten lesson plan. So I went ahead, I got this. Thankfully, I got this used because I really don't like this. Not at all. There's a learning curve with, I think, new curriculum. And so with the language arts lesson plans for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I found that learning curve and it worked well. I was able to make it work for us. This one, I kind of found it, but it wasn't enjoyable. I just feel like this is outdated, and they've updated some of their other lesson plans, but not this. So what this includes is the phonics, the reading, the writing, and this is going to teach cursive writing, not manuscript. So if you want to teach your child cursive, this gives actually instructions on how to do that. We didn't do that. And then numbers, so math. And it also includes, this could be, I don't want to knock this because I'm sure it works great for a lot of people. It just doesn't work great for us. So it also does include on the back here, God's World. So it's like a kind of this is social studies. This is like science for kindergarten, a Bible, and an art project. And it has lesson plans and it shows you when to do that. It has enrichment, it has poetry, there is one thing in here that I like that I'll share in just a second. So if you want an all-in-one, everything in one shot, maybe you have an only child or you're only homeschooling, maybe your oldest is in kindergarten and you're only homeschooling one, and you just want everything all in one. Now that I've talked it up so much, I'm like, here, take this, use this. No, but seriously, I think it could work. Like I said, if you want everything Abeka down the line, from their math to their Bible to everything, this would actually work really well. You could just get everything here and it would be all in one. You'd have the workbooks and go from there. It would be lovely. I just use this for the phonics and the reading. I'm sorry, not the handwriting, the phonics, and to do the phonics instruction. So what I'm just summarize it for you. The first maybe half of the year, they were just really reviewing letters, doing blends, doing CVC words, so consonant, vowel, consonant words. And then the second half of the year, they would introduce what Abeka calls special sounds. And special sounds are basically things like SH says sh, CL says cool, that type of thing. And so they would just basically tell you which special sounds you would need to do for their chart. But the thing is that the special sounds, once you kind of got to that part in the level, in the year, in the curriculum, the special sounds went in order. So it basically, if you just went on to the next, this was kind of self-explanatory. I didn't do an in-depth look in here. If you would like, I can, and I can kind of show an in-depth look, but I have yet to make a video on this just because this wasn't our favorite. Now, there was one thing in here that I did like, and it was called, hold on, let me see what it was called. It was called skills development, and it was listening and thinking skills. So I did like this one because they put in here like little listening exercises. They did rhyming. It was fun and it was easy. And you literally just read out of here whatever this, maybe it was a little story and they had to answer questions about the story. Whether it was, hey, here's a riddle. I am blue, I have clouds in me, and whatever. And it's the sky, obviously. It's a terrible example, sorry, just off the top of my head, but you get the idea. So they did those every few lessons, and my daughter Lola really enjoyed doing those. It was easy. It was, like I said, right in here. Would I get the whole course book just for that? Probably not, but if you're going to get this, that was one of our favorite things that we liked, that we did do consistently throughout the year. Otherwise, I kind of just went on my own. I just did her, and if you want to see, I just posted a video on how we do an Abeka lesson, and it will make much more sense. I'm not going to do a whole flip through today, just because I've already made a video on that. I'll link all these videos that are relating to here. I will link below so that you can get definitely more of a picture. I'm just giving our final thoughts and how it worked for us. So overall, Abeka, their phonics program is amazing. I love it. I think it works really well. I think it's laid out really well. It's very efficient. It makes sense. It just makes sense the way they do it. I've seen some other ones that's just kind of scattered and all over the place. This is very like, okay, it goes from one step to the next to the next. They kind of cornered the market. Not to say that there's not other great programs out there. There are, but they've done a really, really great job of laying a really great foundation for reading and phonics and eventually spelling too. All right, next we have for handwriting, we used Abeka, the writing with phonics. So you can get this. I obviously got this unbound, meaning it didn't come with a spine. You can get it bound, or you can get it in manuscript or in cursive. So I chose manuscript because I want them to learn cursive when they're just a little bit older. I want her to get her manuscript down. So there is about, I don't know, maybe, let me see, about 180, 190 pages in here. She's not, I'll be honest, she's not even like halfway done with this. She doesn't like handwriting. Let me back up. She's an extremely, very easygoing, easy to please child. She could do lessons for an hour and not complain. So, but she did not like handwriting. It was a struggle. So some days I honestly just, I'll be honest, I sometimes forgot to like say, here, do your handwriting page. And that's probably the main reason why she didn't do too much, but there's days she probably should have done a front and a back, and I just had her do the front. So we're not going to continue with Abeka's, handwriting for next year. I don't think it's anything wrong with Abeka. There is nothing wrong with it. It's fine. The handwriting is, I don't feel like it's very overwhelming. Here's an example of like a page, lesson 41. So you're about 40 lessons into it. Let me see. Lesson 93, you're about halfway done. So it's not like it's an overwhelming amount. I just think she might not like handwriting. So we're going to try something a little bit different for next year when she goes into first grade. Next, I have from Abeka this Think and Learn thinking skills. I just like this because it's a little bit something a little bit different. It is, well, I thought it was going to be independent work. As it turns out, a lot of times I help her, but that's okay. Like she does maybe half and half independent work. And this is just fun little thinking exercises, coloring, doing patterns, figuring out which one is the same, which one is alike, which one is different. Again, some drawing. So it's just a fun little variety of exercises that this is, and she enjoyed doing this. This one, I accidentally got 2 of these a few years ago when my other daughter was in kindergarten, so I just happened to have this one extra laying around that I found, and so I was like, well, let's just add this one. So this is another critical thinking skills from Evan Moore. She hasn't finished either of these because she kind of worked out of both of them, but she'll just do these every once in a while. The thing I like about these is that it is broken down. So like there'll be a little chapter on vehicles, there'll be a chapter on flowers and leaves, there's like one on plants and one on mountains. They're like little mini unit studies, I guess you could say, that use critical thinking skills. So I really liked this one, and I might, even though she'll be in first grade, I might have her just continue this next year in first grade. And then for math, lastly, we have The Good and the Beautiful Math K. She's about to finish this. I can't believe it. She has a late birthday. Her birthday's at the end of September. So if she was in school, like where we live, she wouldn't even be allowed to go to kindergarten. She would just be going to kindergarten this year. But last year she wanted to do preschool, and so I said okay, and I just kind of went with it, and I said whatever we get done, like however far along you go. And you know, to do a preschool this year would have been like not beneath her, but like it would have been not a challenge for her. So kindergarten, I really didn't know how this year was going to go. I thought it could go either way because she is a little bit younger. My other daughter is born in August, and she is the grade behind. So the fact that Lola is in kindergarten, I wasn't sure, but she actually kept up really well. So she's about to finish this math book. So we really like The Good and the Beautiful Math. I've shared that many times on my channel. Now, as far as how this compares to the old version, and I know it doesn't really matter because the old version is not even available anymore. Part of me really liked the old version better. I do really like this. We'll use it, we will continue to use it. There was great things about this. It is more simple. I like that the math box is much simpler. There's not a bunch of games with excessive parts and pieces and all these moving parts and counting a bunch of things. That just drove me crazy, to be quite honest, from the old version, not the new version. But I think there was just a little bit, something about how they laid the lessons out and how they taught concepts just seemed, in the old version, seemed a little bit easier for kids to get. And maybe it's just my kids. Maybe you've had a completely different experience. I don't know. But I will say that this is still extremely effective. Like, she still did great. I think she still has a really good number sense. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's just my personal preference and my personal opinion. But like I said, we'll still continue to use this. So The Good and the Beautiful, there's 120 lessons in here. It's designed to do 4 lessons per week. If you want to see how I did a lesson with her, I will have that video below too, so you can check that one out. But overall, we do like it and we will continue to use it. And if I had another one to go into kindergarten, I would use it again, just the same. I think I just have a little bit of nostalgia for the old one. And so if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And then lastly, all I have is number skills. This is from Abeka. This is a kindergarten supplement. This wasn't like a full-blown math curriculum. I don't want you to think like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that to your poor child? This was just a worksheet that she would do, and it would take her maybe 5 minutes a day. And this was just to kind of reinforce some of those skills that she was learning with The Good and the Beautiful. So this was her main math lesson. This has the teacher guide and the practice and everything all in one little book. It's very nice and compact, very lovely. And so this was our main math lesson. And then she would do this more of like an independent page, again, just to kind of help practice like addition and telling time and counting coins and that type of thing. And I think that they work really well together. I have always kind of done the two together, and they complement each other really, really well. So she's not finished with this either. Like she's still got a little bit of pages to go, maybe 20 or 30 pages. So she got through most of the book. But the main things I wanted to focus on was getting her through her language arts and her main math, which we did that. These other ones that are on the side, as long as she did it most days of the week, I was okay with that. She has made a lot of progress. Like this video and thought it was helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It actually really does make a difference, and it really does help out. If you want to subscribe, stick around, subscribe, make sure that you can see all kinds of homeschool content I have coming up for this summer and the next school year. Make sure you do that by hitting that subscribe button. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'd love to be able to have some discussion in the comments. I really enjoy interacting with you all and hearing what you use and what worked for you and what didn't, and all of those fun things. Thanks again for being here. You are the best. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will talk to you soon. Take care.